Caner Universe, it's Caner Tip Tuesday, and today's topic, danger. Ignore these 4 CaneFlow principles, tactical principles at your risk. But before we get into that, as always, a warm welcome from sunny Miami, Florida, to faithful followers of the Cane Fist Way. If you like the content, especially if you're here for the first time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. Before you forget, hit the little bell icon so that you don't miss any future content. And avail yourself now of your 2 free resources. Number 1, you have the Cane, no cost, Cane Clarity Call. Text the letter CCC to 305-745-7839 in less than 24 hours. My staff and I will be on a call with you, listening to your goals. What's important? What is it that's attracting you to this tool? And how can we'll give you walk out of that call with a blueprint on what to do first, second, and third, so that you save time, frustration of trying to figure this out, and funds. That's the right way to do it. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but don't just go to the website and start ordering things. Have that call first. That's number 1. And then number 2, there's a group. It's the first and thus far the only no-cost group from ACSD, and it's called CaneFlow. Move better, protect better, live better. Look at it there in the description and just request entry, and they'll let you right in. So today's topic, danger. You know, when you see ACSD caners flowing and handling and doing maneuverability drills, there is ACSD caners that are familiar with CaneFlow can read. It's like reading a sentence. It's a paragraph, a composition. You know where the commas are supposed to go. You know where there should be a period and where there's an exclamation mark. And think of a sentence. You put a comma in the wrong place, and it just changes the meaning of what you're trying to convey. And so it is here. It's not just moving. It's freestyling, and no. There are tactical principles in there that if you ignore it, then it's no longer CaneFlow. And I'll cover 4 of those with you today, and I have a 5th one. It's a bonus one that you want to see, but in order to see that one, go into the group. That's a bonus for members of that CaneFlow group. And the first one that I want to talk about is that the cane precedes you. And that sounds like, hey, that's common sense, but not really. If you look at what people are doing out there, there's an altercation, there's something going on, and I'll bring Kiko as a bad guy here. He's my assailant, and you see this kind of thing, or I have the cane over here, and look at my left side of my body is forward, and here there's a violation of that principle. Look at, especially if my hands are here and I'm trying to defend, and he goes ahead, takes my hand, now pulls me in, and now I have another situation, or I have to come from back here with the cane. You'll also see it. I've seen instructors, respected instructors, do things like they might try to get out of this situation, and then they're swinging from back here. I have my left foot forward. It doesn't mean that you can never do that, but that cane, why is he grabbing me? I should do it in such a way that I have that right foot forward. The cane precedes you means that the cane is there to protect you. It's a reminder. It's between you and that incoming attack. So if I'm over here and I start standing, here it is. If it's going from here, the cane is in front. It's going here and not back here. He pulls a knife. And now you have the hand over here. You don't want this because that's going to be happening. It ties in to the other principles. That cane is over here. Tied into that principle is that the horn is also there to protect you. Notice that it sticks out. Otherwise, if you remove from this cane, this part, it just becomes a stick. And the horn and crook, this is no longer the handle, by the way. You're educated caners now. And so this is the crook and this is the horn. And that is there to protect you. It acts like a hammer this way, right? So it would never be here. So if you see anything like this where I'm punching, now look at your knuckles and your fist exposed. You don't want that. You punch with it. I know you've seen this out there. It's common to go ahead and do this, but I don't want to damage this hand. That's what this is here for. So you can move from here, and it's a way of using the horn. We actually do horn work. And I have a whole separate video explaining on how this horn, the proper use of this, which is not to go ahead and hook it around a limb or the neck or anything like that, and then you come in here and you throw. That's not what it's how it's designed. It's actually designed so that you connect first and then rip and gouge. So turn that camera down a little bit there so we can understand. I just did one. So imagine that I'm over here. This is, this is towards, now I connect, now I go ahead. But it's there to protect you. And so if I am, there's a caner circle, you always see caners in the know. They'll have their cane this way and they'll have it up here. Why? Because when you're in a circle and you're doing this and that cane flies out of your hand, you can catch it out here, right? This is here to protect you. It's a reminder. So the first two principles, cane always precedes you. If I find myself in this situation, then switch hands. That's a sleight of hand. Just come from here to here and go. But that cane comes between. Those of you that are familiar with firearms training, you wouldn't have your firearm back here and this hand out here saying, hey, you're going to increase the probability of shooting your hand off. You can remember it that way as well. The horn always points away from you. Now, that's going to change for those of you that have palm rest. The palm rest changes that, modifies that rule somewhat, because I can be here, there's the horn, and just with a turn out here, see how quick we do that? This is an ACB 32. You might have it on your Silent Night, any cane that has that palm rest. Now you can use that to shoot out, but not only that, if I find myself in a situation where he grabs me and I bring him down and he comes down here, I can use that to hammer with it. But did you see how I get there just with a quarter rotation? I don't do anything fancy that might, where I might lose my grip there. So that's the modification if you happen to have this. Otherwise, this points away from you. The third concept is that of the cover hand. And that cover hand, well, the name says it, it's not the other hand. In ACSD, this is referred to as a cover hand. You'll see that it's always in here, and there's a reason for that. I want to cover anything that might be coming, but not just that. If I'm handling here and I might drop that cane, my other hand is always nearby. Almost dropping the cane doesn't count, so as long as I recover it. And if I do drop that cane, I need to recover that cane. Certainly my opponent cannot. And so we train specifically for this hand, right? So both hands coming here. I don't want to have this hand down here where he might come up. I'm not fast enough to bring that hand up. My cover hand is always here. I find myself in that situation. Well, there it is. It's always nearby at this level. The hand always comes here. I might have to use that hand. So I'm talking with him here. Hey man, I don't want, see where my hand is always around this area. And I didn't get an opportunity. I'm not going to swing out here as he's throwing the punch. So I might move my head. Oh, there's that lock, right? So this hand is actually going to be very active. It's also going to be out here for the same reason, so that he pulls out a knife. I don't want this out here. I want it out here and I want it away, which segues into the fourth principle, and that is the half body concept. Now, take a look at me here. I have this cane in hand. Look at the shoulders. This is the view that your opponent is in when you come out from here and you see this situation. Okay, throw a strike from there, cane down. You see this all the time. Throw a strike and then boom, or I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna do, from the onset, if something is brewing, that cane is already up here and we go into this half body. Now, look at the difference. You're seeing me here, now I'm over here, the cane tip is pointing towards you, or at least it's out here. If you're gonna cut, if you're looking to cut me here, do it from this angle so they can see, and I'm square to you. Look at everything that he has here to cut, right? Nice and broad, but here, this is different now. This is different. This is the only thing you're getting. The cane is preceding me. He goes to move, I'm using that, the advantage, the reach advantage of the tool, strong verbal, back off, get away, right? But this is all you get. You don't get this. And so those are tactical principles that when you're putting them in the flow, you're typically not gonna see this. Why? Because if you're my opponent at 12 o'clock, that cane is that cane should be here then, and then you're switching or you're putting both hands together. Go ahead, look at the horn pointing away. I strike from a reverse grip, but the horn is always pointing away from. I have a cover hand here, regardless of how I'm moving, doesn't matter, right? I'm covering my head, I'm still here, I switch my footwork, right? And you have that half body concept as well. Rarely, the rule is, For ACSD caners, when they're doing assessments, they're not going to do any handling and stay square for more than 3 seconds. 3 seconds is a long time in an altercation. 1,000, 2, well, that's too long, too long. So something for you to think about. Go back and look at the way you're moving and see where those principles are you paying respect? Are you being mindful of those? And if you're wondering, you say, gosh, that's a lot of stuff to remember, and how do you actually put it? That's why we encourage you to make that call first. Text to CCC for Cane Clarity Call to 305-745-7839. We will show you there's a step-by-step, there's a structure. These videos demonstrate potential. They demonstrate truth, tactical truth, but to actually put it into it and make it functional, there's nothing like professional training. Get it, do it the right way. I'm Joe Robaina for American Cane Self-Defense. Keep caning, stay safe, get flowing.